Let's go back to your calls. In fact, who's up next here, John? I got so many, I got lost track. Josh in Missouri, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hi, Alex. Big fan.
Thank you, sir. God bless you. What's on your mind?
Yes, I agree with the truth of 9/11 being brought out to the American public. I think that it should be on the forefront of Americans' minds. I admire Charlie Sheen for stepping up and doing his part. I, too, being a radio host here in the local area of Joplin, Missouri, try to get the word out as much as possible. But whenever I read this, I was on the edge of my seat all weekend waiting for today to arrive. And whenever I read this letter this morning and got to the bottom, I was sorely disappointed.
Yeah, well, let me just say this, and I appreciate your call, but let me try to explain something here. We brought you Willie Nelson. We brought you Jesse Ventura. They went public for 9/11 Truth here on the air. In music, doesn't really get bigger than Willie Nelson. He's in the top 3 or 4 most popular people out there that are still alive. Right up there at Bob Dylan level, Mick Jagger level, Johnny Cash level, but Johnny's not here. We brought you Charlie Sheen, and people poo-pooed that when it happened. I told you in the video yesterday that that was the start, okay? The letter is written so that the media will pick it up, and so that it isn't just a boring 20 points, that it's about the meeting he wants to have with the president. And Charlie was showing his knowledge of how the president would respond in his propaganda. And it brought up the torture and everything else. And so if you got a better idea of how to get media attention and how to cause a massive awakening, please tell me. The letter is only the start. It's Charlie's idea. I think it's a great idea. The letter is only the start. Then there's the radio interviews and the video. And I told everybody in the piece, the video piece from yesterday that I played earlier, that there are going to be multiple things. There's more surprises. This is just the beginning. And it's kind of like, anticlimactic, where people are like, want more. Charlie Sheen is coming out saying he wants to meet with the president. That's the big issue here. Have you seen the story? Charlie Sheen requests meeting with Obama over 911 cover-up. Actor demands investigation be reopened after majority of 9/11 commission members say government lied about official story. We are in the arena here with the globalist. Did you see the New York Times article where they went after Mark Cuban, but he won? Or the White House? Like, what's the headline on that? You guys printed it earlier? I mean, we told you they were threatening Mark Cuban. Here it is, insider trading or political persecution. Then it came out, White House emails, Securities and Exchange Commission calling him up, threatening him about, you better not make that 9/11 film or we're going to destroy you. And he pulled out of it and said, my God, but they still went and tried to prosecute him. And it came out in the New York Times. Show people the article that are watching at prisonplanet.tv. Charlie Sheen knows about all this. This is a guy who makes tens of millions of dollars a year. This is a guy who isn't just thinking about himself. And then people are like, some people, I wish it was a real meeting with the president. That's what this is about. When the media ask him, why'd you write this mock letter to the president? Why? This is what the establishment does a lot. I don't know if people understand this. In fact, Google and print off for me Gary Hart letter to Iran, Huffington Post. And then we questioned him about it. It's in Truth Rising. And he said, my mock letter to them was a real letter. People said, well, this isn't a real letter. What do you mean? I published it. I sent it to him. Where he has this, kind of conversation. And then, that's how you do this, is that you're saying you want this meeting to happen. There was a Washington Post article about a meeting with the president where Martin Sheen interviews the president or whatever. Or was an interview, like somebody was interviewing Sheen like he was the president in the Washington Post. The point is that it's done so that people will read it and see the 20 points and understand, my God, what would happen if the president did see this? What would happen if people did that? Okay? So we're in the arena. And regardless, nothing's perfect. But we're asking you to now go out for 9/11 truth. Okay, that's the big issue. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're discussing here. That's what we're covering here. And Charlie and I busted our butt putting this letter together. Charlie did 90% of the work on that. Okay? So we need to get this out to everybody. God bless you.
Direct to you and in your face. You're listening to the Alex Jones Broadcasting Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, the big news is that Charlie Sheen is going on this show Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, that he is asking for a meeting with President Barack Obama. The 20 minutes with the president is a way to make it interesting for people to read it and envision what that meeting would be like. And Jaron, one of the producers here, who also helps run the show with Paul Hartman in there, Jaron Neihart, just real fast during the break, he really crystallized it. Repeat what you said.
Yeah, well, I was talking about, because that last caller, what he had said, he was disappointed after he got to the end of that piece. And I was suggesting this morning, I read it for the first time, didn't have any idea what it was about. But the beauty of that piece to me was that as you were reading it, you could visualize the meeting. And while you're reading that piece, you get the evidence. You see the evidence presented to Obama as you're visualizing it. That's why I just...
And that's what Charlie said to me. He said, I have an idea of like a letter to the president, but like it's a meeting, visualizing a meeting I really want to have. And that's only a platform when the media ask him to say, yeah, I really want this meeting. These are the facts. It was because you can't get people to read a 16-page report of bullet points and links, but they will read it if it's in the context of something interesting.
Yeah, it was theater of the mind, basically. And as I was reading that, I really felt like I was looking in on that meeting, and then I saw the evidence presented. He mentioned the painstaking research that was done for what he was presenting.
And then he gives him the folders, and you have the links to those folders.
Exactly.
And see, I hadn't really articulated that yet today, but that's exactly what Charlie said. So when you said it, I was like, that's exactly what Charlie's idea was. But that's only the platform to get the real meeting. So I want people to call the White House and say, Obama, don't run from Charlie Sheen, meet with him. But then other people can meet with their politicians. And that's what he's calling for in this.
Absolutely.
Jaron, thank you so much.
No problem, man.